everyone, welcome back to a new video. Thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a nice short earth energy flow. So with Earth Day, I thought it would be really nice if we can have a nice shorter grounding practice. So the earth element is all about grounding, nurturing, stability. So we're going to stay nice and close to the mat for this practice. You might want a bolster or a big pillow, a cushion, anything like that, and maybe some blocks as well if you use them, but feel free to use whatever you would like. So we're going to start today in a child's pose. So if you come onto your mat, allow the knees to come out as wide as comfortable, and then just allow the head and the heart space to melt down. Walk the hands away from the body. Allow the forehead to release down to the earth. And to begin with, just start to notice the connections between the body and the earth beneath you. So noticing the energy underneath the hands, the connection with the top of the feet, the toes onto the earth, and just notice that support beneath you. Imagine every time you breathe in, that energy and support from underneath comes all the way up through those connections into the body. And now just start to connect with your breath. Notice it gently flowing out through the nose. As we start moving, we're going to gently just press into the palms, gently lift through the head and almost ripple. So you gently gaze forwards, or maybe the eyes stay closed. And then as you exhale, allow everything to melt back down. 2 more times here. Inhale as you gently ripple. And exhale, release it down. 1 more, inhale. And exhale as you release down. And start to press into the hands as you gently make your way up to your tabletop position. Draw the knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. Spreading the fingers again, feeling those connections. So pressing into the hands. As you release the belly, gently gaze forwards. And then as you exhale, start to round through the body, starting with the tailbone. So really rounding through the spine, pressing into the hands. And then moving through this cat-cow a few times. Maybe closing the eyes, finding any different movement that you need. Maybe a little sway from side to side. Maybe a little forwards and backwards. And then come back to neutral. Walk the hands forwards and allow the body to just snake its way forwards. Allow the belly to come down. So coming into our Sphinx Pose, bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders, or a little bit further forwards if it's more comfortable. Start to press into the hands and start to lengthen through the chest, through the crown of the head, pressing into the tops of the feet. And imagine almost drawing the hands back towards you. Feel the belly switch on. Taking a full breath in here. And then exhale, release everything down to the earth. Now bringing the fingertips either side of the mat and draw the elbows lifted up. We're going to press into the tops of the feet as we lift the body up, gently gaze forwards. Don't tilt the head too far. And then exhale, release down. Inhale, wave the chest up, squeeze through the glutes here. And exhale, release. 1 more, inhale. Exhale, release down. Bring one hand on top of the other, just underneath the forehead. Allow the forehead to rest. And then just gently find A little bit of side to side with the pelvis, just releasing through the lower back. And then we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, making your way back to your tabletop position. Really planting the palms down, feeling that connection again. As we inhale, lift through the left leg, draw in through the belly, be mindful not to collapse into the back. So draw in through the belly, nice long spine. Take a breath here. And then as you exhale, we're going to send that left foot out towards the left side. We turn around here. So allow that left foot to come out to the side. And then we're going to just gently move forwards and backwards, just feeling a little groin stretch here. Nice. And then slowly walk the hands back, lift through the chest. We're going to walk this left hand down the left leg, just gently, and then reach that right arm up and over, finding your gate pose. As you inhale, reach that right arm down to the earth, and then maybe you find a lift with this left leg. We might reach this left arm high, and the next option may be holding on to this left foot, bending through the knee and pressing the foot into the hand. Your gaze can lift or you can stay looking down. And exhale as you release with control, and then start to send the left foot all the way up to the top of the mat. So you're facing the top of the mat, and we're going to draw this left foot out to the edge of the mat. So coming into our lizard pose. So here you might want to bring your hands onto a block or a brick just to lift yourself up a little bit further. Maybe the hands come down, maybe the forearms come down. And you might want to lift that back knee, but it's not necessary. And you might find that a bolster here also really helps if you're drawing the forearms down. Perhaps finding a little bit of stillness here or finding a little bit of movement, whatever feels good for you. Okay, from here we're going to make our way to our Malasana, our Yogic Squat. So we're going to curl toes of the back foot, lift the knee. You're going to use a little bit of momentum. You can step the foot in. We're going to step the right foot all the way to the top right of the mat. The toes are facing out, so diagonal. Bring the hands together at the heart space, elbows to the inside of the knees. And then we're just going to gently find a little bit of movement here. You can stay lifted, you can sit onto a block. Make it as comfortable for you as you need. So really feeling into that grounding energy. In through the hips. And just releasing any tension. Lovely. Plant the palms down. You're going to start to lift through the hips and the heel toe the feet a little bit further than hip distance. Start to hold onto either elbow, releasing the forehead down. Finding a ragdoll here, so maybe you find a bit of movement from side to side, maybe you find stillness. I'm going to plant the palms back down, step back to a downward facing dog. So take a nice big step back, press into the hands, lift through the hips. You can find a nice bend through the knees here to lengthen through the spine. Take a breath in, come onto the tiptoes. As you exhale, lower down through the knees. Release the toes and send the hips back. Find a child's pose. Start to press into the hands as you draw the body back up to your tabletop position. We're going to start to lift through the right leg. As you exhale, send it out towards the right hand side. Lengthening through that leg. And again, maybe finding a little bit of movement here, just fitting into that groin space. And start to walk the hands back, start to lift through the body. And then gently walking the hand down that right leg, reaching the left arm up and over. Really feeling into the nice stretch into the left side of the body. So you inhale, reach that left arm up and over down onto the mat. And you might find a little lift with this right leg. And perhaps reaching that right arm high. Second option to maybe bend through this right knee. And holding onto the foot, pressing the foot into the hand, opening up, finding a little heart opener here. As you exhale, release with control and send that right foot all the way to the top of the mat. I'm twisted the other way, so I'm just going to draw that foot up to the top of the mat and then send it out to the top right corner of your mat. And again, finding our lizard pose here. So a few options. Maybe you stay lifted with the hands on the earth. Maybe you use your block. Maybe the forearms come down, or maybe onto a bolster. So maybe just finding a little bit of movement here, forwards and backwards, maybe side to side. And we're going to come into Malasana or Yogic Squat again. So we're going to curl the back toes, lift the back knee, and send that left foot to the top left of the mat. Start to sink the hips down. And again, finding a little bit of movement here. Start to plant the palms down. We're going to start to sink the hips. So start to reach the arms forward. You can curl the spine and then allow the bottom to come down onto the earth. We're going to create a nice diamond shape here. So bringing the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fold out wide. We're going to send the feet a little bit further away from the body. So we're going to create a nice passive stretch here. So you can bring the hands around the ankles, maybe the toes, and then really allow the body to release down. Now here it might be really nice to use a bolster or a really big cushion to just bring the cheek onto one side, finding that just a little bit of support from the props, and then just allow the body to release down. You can bring your forehead onto the bolster or cushion. Again, noticing that support beneath you. Here might be a really nice time for a bit of reflection, maybe an intention setting, maybe even a gratitude practice. And slowly start to come out, lift through the head and the chest, release any props that you have, and bring the hands around the sides of the knees, draw them up, bending through the knees, soles of the feet on the earth. We're going to come down to our backs. So we're going to bring the hands up, palms facing in, and then allow the chin to drop to the chest and come down piece by piece. The head is the last piece of the puzzle to come down. Nice. Drawing the feet onto the ground, and then just simply windscreen wipe the knees from side to side. Just creating a nice bit of space in the hips. Maybe you start to close the eyes here. And drawing the knees in towards the chest, give them a big hug in. And bringing the soles of the feet down onto the earth, just shuffling over towards the right hand side. And then allowing the knees to fold over to the left. Opening up the arms, maybe a cactus or a T position. And then the head can start to move to the right or gently gaze that way. Bringing the breath down into the belly. Slowly allow the knees to come through centre, shuffle the hips to the left, and then allow the knees to fall to the right. Again, the gaze can move to the left, or maybe close through the eyes, drawing the belly, drawing the breath down into the belly. The inhale as you draw the knees back through centre, give them one last hug. Perhaps this time the forehead comes up towards the knees. And then slowly allow yourself to come down into Shavasana. So either lengthening out through the legs, maybe bending through the knees, allowing them to come together. You might find Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together and allowing the knees to come out wide. Bringing the hands to the side of the body, palms facing up. Just allowing the hands to come onto the earth, noticing that support beneath you. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you would like to. You're ready to come out, gently start to wriggle through the fingers, the toes. Maybe a nice big full body stretch. And then making your way onto one side. Slowly coming up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft. Allowing the hands to come onto the knees, maybe palms facing up. Just a nice open gesture. And just taking a moment to find a bit of gratitude, find something that you are thankful for today. Maybe thankful for the earth, for the elements, for their grounding properties. Bringing the hands together at your heart space. Take one last final deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. And a gentle bow down to your heart space. Namaste, thank you all so much for flowing with me. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I'll see you again